Greetings, Derper Prize crew. Stay tuned until the very end of the outtakes to listen to a teaser from the Dungeons & Dragons inspired two-person roleplay thing that we're doing and releasing on the Ian and Deneé Patreon that's very chaotic and very improv, but set in the universe of Star Trek.
I'm just here because I can't leave. I'm trapped in the El Rio Corso
You
Cacao.
said this is your Royale. Wow, doing this podcast is your Royale? Oh, shit. Captain's Pod, Stardate 21-12-85.5. Welcome aboard the Starship Derper Prize, and thank you for joining us on our continuing voyages through the final frontier. I'm your Captain Ian Whittington, and with me as always, activate the emergency ambassador hologram. It's Ambassador Deneé.
Don't shut me off, I'm real.
Is that what you would say each time you get turned on? Because you have to have a thing that you say when you're turned on. I mean,
usually when I'm turned on, I say things
stop.
like, hey. Is that what you mean?
No. No. Obligatory happy Thanksgiving-ness, Ambassador.
Oh, what a person to be saying it as well.
Yes.
It was so interesting when Iris is like, are you guys excited for Thanksgiving to your parents? And they're like, we don't celebrate Thanksgiving. And it's sort of watching her process that.
Yeah.
She said, well, do you celebrate the 4th of July? Like she instantly went to the next one. It was so great.
It's so funny. I didn't pick Christmas because I think she knows that they celebrate Christmas.
Well, and then your mom was like, it's Christmas and Easter and that's it. And I thought, wow, that's not a lot.
No, we have a lot of bank holidays that you call like national holidays. Like you have Veterans Day and Labor Day. Like we don't have those. We have the bank holiday in May and the bank holiday in August.
They're just called
called bank holidays. One of them is called Whitsun, but I don't know what Whitsun is actually.
Ooh, that's close to your name.
That's very close to my name.
Our name.
Hello.
We got married.
Yeah.
That's a thing.
Should we mention that every week?
Well, I guess just like we do everything, who knows why we do anything that we do when we do the thing that we do. Does it have to be a thing? No. No things have to be thought, the things.
Which captain would you have marry us?
Oh my God, Picard.
Yeah?
Of course.
Yeah.
Because there's a chance he would fall in love with me and swoop me away and I would say goodbye to you.
That's not his style. I like that. That's my problem.
There goes that fantasy.
That goes against Picard's character, not that I would be mortally crushed.
No.
Well, if there's one thing I'm thankful for, it's that we have a great episode to watch today, and it's called Segways by Ian. This week, it's the final episode of the What the Fuck Won the Fun series, and the episode that won the final place was TNG's The Royale. Ambassador, give me some predictions based on the title.
It sounds like a card game. And the thing about it is like that seems like an easy stretch because saying card game with TNG seems like there's a 50-50 chance you're going to have a prediction
with
come
a poker
true.
Game. Yeah.
But for some reason, in addition to thinking of card game, I immediately am imagining Deanna Troi as a cowgirl in the Wild West. And I know I've seen an episode of TNG where they're like stuck in the holodeck and the protocols go wild and suddenly I think maybe even it's when Data goes crazy or something. Like I'm thinking like of Data being maybe the bad guy and he like goes way too bad guy. Mm-hmm. I don't know. All of these things are coming back to me, but I don't know if that's the episode we're going to watch. If it is, I've seen it before and it's going to be really interesting because I liked that episode. Maybe even Worf was like in this one. I was like, howdy, y'all. Just something silly like that because who doesn't want to see Worf in the Wild West? Ooh, maybe his son is there too. I'm seeing little Alexander in a little Alexander hat.
If that was a completely blind prediction, it would be incredible because the odds of Worf being with his son are phenomenally low. It's a very rare occurrence. You are describing expertly an episode that we have previously watched together, not on the show. Do you want me to tell you if it's that episode or not? It is not that episode.
Oh,
I'm
okay,
sorry.
okay.
That
no,
episode
that's okay.
is called A Fistful of Datas, and you've got it completely right. Alexander...
All that stuff happened?
All of that stuff happens. Alexander tricks Worf into going on a holodeck program with him to the Wild West.
Okay.
Deanna comes along as the mysterious stranger Durango.
Okay.
And Data, basically, he's not in it, but him and Geordi are trying something weird in engineering, and all of Data's programming leaks into the rest of the ship.
Oh.
So he gets incorporated into the holodeck program and takes on all of the bad guys.
Now, I also don't know if this is... Here's my next random train of thought, which isn't a random train of thought, and it does include a train. And it feels like it was also Wild West. What was the one where they were kind of on a train and there was like a creature that had sort of taken over and clues were coming out and there was it was impacting the people that were talking to them on the train and they were trying to figure out a puzzle. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yes, that's Emergence. So that is when there is the Enterprise kind of becomes sentient.
Yeah.
So one of our listeners, Carl, actually messaged saying, has the TNG episode Emergence been considered for the What the Fuck series? The Enterprise has a baby. And Emergence would have made an excellent candidate for this season, without a doubt. The Enterprise goes semi-sentient, and then they rip that sentience out and then release it into space.
Yeah,
and then the Enterprise just goes back to normal.
I didn't remember how that one ended. I just remember the feeling of mystery and dread and them like walking into the train and they couldn't show aggression or the conductor and all of the people would be very aggressive. Yes. And there were like clues on the table, maybe with the cards they were playing that sort of showed maybe the shape of their baby.
They were putting a puzzle together and it was in these tubes that had evolved inside the Enterprise. And
that was
they were on course for Vertiform City.
Oh, Vertiform City.
Vertiform City. And that was the particles that the Enterprise was craving to gobble, gobble, gobble. So yeah, you have a great memory. None of that happens in this episode. No, none of it.
Royale reminded me of those two things. They sort of merged together in my brain. So I'm very firmly thinking it's like this Western train, like Back to the Future weird vibe. But I guess that's not really what it's going to be. And that's okay. Royale. A battle royale. Everybody's in.
And Star Trek doing a battle royale would be incredible.
Yeah. Oh my God. I don't really remember a lot of like space battles.
Yeah, not in TNG.
Where all the ships show up. But that was one thing I loved about Picard. And also that I think we've seen in Strange New Worlds with the new technology of CGI aiding us, that we get to see some amazing space battles.
What we should do is the entire DS9 Dominion War arc, because that has, in my opinion, the best space battles in the entire franchise. Like, because they are at war. And at one point you have the Federation, the Klingons, and the Romulans all fighting at once against the Dominion. So you get to see like Klingon ships fighting alongside Warbirds and Federation ships against the Dominion. Like, we could do a 100 episode season there where we just do that.
I mean, honestly, at this point, I have realized what you told me years ago, which is that we could be doing the show every week forever because there are so many things to watch.
I vaguely remember saying 20 to 30 years.
I was like, oh, that's a long time to commit to a podcast.
Let's do it. I'm here for it. For now, let's commit to the next 45 minutes. We'll stick to it's a card game of some sort as your main prediction, as you just predicted other episodes.
Like, we haven't seen Q, and how is Q not in a WTF season of Star Trek?
I think you've seen enough Q now where I don't know if he could trigger your what the fuck button. I think you're just like, yeah, that's Q.
He could turn people into ducks.
He could. Actually, there is one what the fuck episode we haven't done of Q.
There you go. See?
Yeah, we should have done that
and it's called Royale.
Yeah, it's called the Royale. Well, let's head over to the holodeck to watch the episode. We'll see you all in 10 Forward for a full debrief. 2 to beam out. Welcome to 10 Forward, the part of the show where we grab something from the replicator and share our immediate thoughts and feelings on the episode we just watched together. Most important thing first, why don't our emails work, Ambassador?
Fuck. For the first time in so long, I am sitting here going, I know exactly what I'm going to say I want from the replicator. And you absolutely just throw me under the bus.
You bet I did.
Ugh. Okay, so I pushed a button and I did some stuff with some coding that has really done a number on technical things that we now have to, we can't just undo yet. But there was a chat that happened with some people that are smarter than us, and they gave us some step-by-step instructions, and we followed those, and it still didn't work. And so
Still didn't work.
We have some research to do. And so I'm sorry, our emails are completely down until further notice, and you can just email
you
us
can
the old way, you know?
Yeah, you can just go to Captain's Pod. I still obviously have access to my CinemaSins email. So
And there's also, don't we have Captain's Pod or Captain's Pod Show at Gmail or something like that? Like, we have other resources.
We do.
Mr. Throw me under the bus for trying to do cool shit.
The long and short of it is the Ian at iananddeneé.com email is not fully functional right now. Apologies, everybody. You can get to us via Discord, or you could still email us captainspod@cinemasins.com. That'll still work. I will get it. Ambassador, what would you like from the replicator?
Ooh. I would like to drink out of Picard's cup. I don't need it replicated. I'm just going to walk in there, just take it gently out of those beautiful hands and just take a sip of his tea.
How do you think he would react to that?
I think he would wonder how I got on the ship. I think it would be a red alert all like immediately. I think Worf would run in and then I would just be like, Worf! And it would be like the greatest episode of just like, I don't know, what do you call it whenever it's I don't even know what it's called.
Intruder alert?
It's a type of storytelling where you're like in on the joke from the very beginning.
Meta?
Yeah.
Who's in on the joke though? You or the audience?
Everybody watching.
Yeah.
I would be the fan from the future that would be watching the episode.
Oh. Yeah, that's definitely meta then.
Yeah, meta.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think he'd react by firing Worf.
No, obviously I'm an entity that is so powerful I can appear on a ship and take a tea. So that's interesting. I would be scanned, stunned. Yeah. I would be put into, depending on how much they wound me, sick bay or straight into the brig.
I think that's fair. Especially if you just took his drink immediately. This was your priority. You managed to circumvent everything just to get my tea.
There's an episode like this. Oh my God, it's happening. I'm so into Star Trek world.
Is it cute?
There's a guy from the future who boards a ship and he takes relics.
Rasmussen.
That's me.
Yeah.
I'm that guy.
It's called...
He's like, doesn't he get stranded in, he goes to prison?
Yeah, he ends up going to prison.
And that's where his storyline ends?
Yeah, because he has come... He's actually from the 22nd century. Somebody from the future visited him. He killed him and stole his time machine. Yeah, and then went to Picard's time to steal stuff.
And they're kind of not on to him at first, and then they're totally on to him by the end.
What is the name of that episode?
I don't remember, because I don't know anything. I just remember little bits of moments. Anyways, I'm just remembering he had an ability to go to the future and see it. And then he was kind of like a fan, ooh, look at this cool shit. That would be me. I'd be like, oh my God, it's Picard's mug. I'm freaking out. And then Worf would run in and I'd be like, can I touch your bat lift? And he'd be like, what the fuck are you? Actually, he'd be like, no, pal. And he would probably phaser me.
What did you want from the replicator again?
I didn't want anything. I just wanted Picard's tea.
Picard's tea, that was it. I would like a copy of the Royale because I want to know if it's as bad as we think it is, or if it's as bad as Picard says it is. I want to read the Royale. Actually, I want to read the book that Data flicks through, because the Royale doesn't exist as a book. It's not real. But Data, Brent Spiner, flicked through a book. I want to know what that book was.
There you go. Well, apparently it's a shit book.
Evidently. And the episode we were just talking about that isn't this episode is a matter of time. It's a great one. We should do that sometime. Get it? Anyway, Ambassador, give us a synopsis of the episode, not the book.
Okay.
Actually, give us a synopsis of the book, The Royale.
Okay.
As best you can.
So there's a book that was written about a very cliche casino in which there are some boring storylines developing, one of which is about a creepy old man and a wealthy young woman, and another about a bellhop that's in love with a gangster's girlfriend. and the gangster appears and shoots the bellhop, and I don't know what happens to the wealthy young woman, except, I mean, I guess she loses all of her money, but also doesn't, because it followed the book well enough that I'm guessing that they weren't too off script. So she's saved by a generous poker player.
Mm-hmm.
And then some investors appear and buy the casino and make the guy behind the counter that watched his bellhop friend die in charge. And once he's in charge, he's happy. And then they ride off into the sunset as investors.
I mean, you nailed it. How many pips would you give it?
The book?
Yes.
None.
No pips.
I would probably just say pass on the book. Yeah,
that's amazing. Well,
that.
Give us a synopsis of the actual episode, Ambassador.
It's basically the same thing.
Yes.
So while the Enterprise is near a green planet called Theta Beta 5.
Mm-hmm.
8.
You called it many
Theta
things
8.
in your notes.
Theta Beta 8.
Theta 8.
Beta,
You called it Data 8 at one point.
Yes, I did. That's okay. Okay, hold on a second. Since you're going to give me some shit about my typing, I just type it as fast as I can, hoping like it just helps me remember later.
Okay.
I'm definitely not, and I don't even look at what I'm typing. I'm typing blind. I don't actually look at what my fingers are doing. So sometimes I'll look up and I'm like, I don't even know what that word is. So it's kind of working for me and kind of not working for me.
It's fine, as long as you can read it.
I mean, maybe we'll see. So they're circling this planet, and what I thought was going to be an interesting episode of the Klingons seeing something and then them working together with the Klingons to find something going on doesn't happen at all.
Full on name drop. It's a complete name drop.
Yeah, just a teaser that there's Klingons nearby. I think it was Klingon, wasn't it?
It was Klingons, yeah. Klingon ship. Found it, ignored it, messaged Starfleet. It's the least Klingon thing. Like, say it was the fucking Vulcans. Like, why the fuck are the Klingons saying, oh, we'd better let Starfleet know about this?
It was really strange to me.
They didn't even, it's wild. It's so strange.
So I genuinely was like, ooh, we're going to get some sort of like what the fuck episode, what the fun episode with some Klingons? Like, let's go. But instead, they go to look at what's going on. They beam aboard and don't even run it through any checks, by the way.
No.
They beam on board some debris that turns out to be NASA's ship. Dun, dun, dun.
It's NASA.
And then they're able to sort of beam down onto the planet's very volatile weather surface to a structure in a very narrow window of space where they enter into a pocket dimension, so to speak.
It kind of is.
Where they go through like the revolving doors of a casino / hotel.
Yeah.
And get stuck. And by they, I mean it's Riker, Worf, and Data, the 3 best people that could ever be on an away mission in any episode ever.
This is your dream away team,
It's my dream away team. Yes, my dream team, guys. They go in and have to figure out why they're trapped there, how to get out, if they're going to be there for a long time. We also almost in this episode had a moment where they thought that they could disrupt the shield system of this like space that's existing in this storm. And in the 12 seconds of it imploding, when they would freeze in space, be beamed on board and revived. And we didn't get that episode. And I think I'm upset about that too.
And what's amazing, it's not the first time that Pulaski like suggests that. She's very keen to like kill and revive people.
She was so on to
she's like, I can do it.
I always forget about her too. Like sometimes I'll look at an episode of TNG and I'll know that we're in the early days for various reasons.
For sure. Yeah.
The Riker's hair.
Yes, Riker's hair.
Of course, uniforms. Right, of course.
Sorry. I assumed uniform. Yeah, these ones don't have the neck. So you can, it's just on the shoulders. It doesn't have the collar. So you can see like Riker's chest hair poking out of this uniform. It's season 1 and season 2. That's it.
Well, that would have been a more obvious thing for me to see. But instead I'm like, wow, his hair is just not doing what his hair usually does.
His hair looks very floppy.
It's very like laying down or whatever. Yeah. And then whenever I see Pulaski, is that her name?
Yeah, Pulaski. Well done.
Well, no, you just said it.
Oh, shit. Fuck. I was so proud. My heart like exploded because I don't know that we've done a Pulaski episode. Maybe
I
1,
think we
2.
have because
No, we have because you hated her.
Yeah, I'll see her and be like, oh yeah, you.
You're the data racist.
Yes. Well, she was very excited about like her mission, and I was excited about it too. I was like, oh my God, we're going to see them like beamed on board and then have some makeup done where they look really frozen. And then they have to do some sort of phaser thawing like we saw on TOS when what's his name made the rock hot.
Yeah.
But like just
Chekhov. Yeah.
Was it Chekhov?
Oh, and Sulu. Chekhov did it in one episode. Sulu did it in another one.
Okay. Anyway, it was so yeah, that's what we're talking about with this. How are they going to get off the mystery pocket dimension of casino boredom? Stay tuned.
Did this excellent synopsis, by the way, on both accounts. I threw you in the deep end on that one. As always. Does this, for your personal buckets, hit what the fuck, what the fun? Did you feel that throughout the episode?
There is definitely an excellent what the fuck moment in this one. But the thing about this episode is that when we got to it, my notes were literally saying, if something interesting doesn't happen, I don't know. Like
how far in?
Pretty far.
In.
We were we were pretty far in because for me, the WTF moment is obviously when the sheets get pulled back, and the other part of this episode is revealed, which is really dark and twisted.
Dark. So I love this so much. I love this so much. We're gonna jump right into the crux of the episode because I don't always think I have a lot of empathy for strangers in particular. People that are close to me, I have a lot of empathy. I'm very in tune with how people are feeling, and I like to serve people. Strangers, fuck off, I don't care. But when something happens to a character, even though it's fictional, I can't get out of my brain that this happened to poor Stephen Ritchie. Is it Ritchie? Yeah.
Yeah.
Poor Colonel Ritchie. He went through that. 38
years.
Fucking years. You struggled with 40 minutes. He had 38 years of this shit. And I welcome death when it comes. It is tingling. Like that overall, this episode is what the fun for me. That one explanation is what the fuck. Why would you do that to a fictional character? Star Trek.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely very bleak because the episode says that at some point in time, and I think it was 2030 something.
2037.
2037, NASA launches the ship. It's like their multiple attempt, maybe their third attempt to leave the solar system. They never hear from this particular group of explorers again. And the theory at the end of the episode is kind of like recounted by Picard, who is essentially saying like, what if they had an alien species on board and the alien species had something to do with this whole situation, which was that they did something that killed everybody on board except for one person.
Yeah.
And as an apology for doing that, trapped them in a Groundhog Day-esque sort of again, I try not to be repetitive, but pocket dimension of using their technology to create non-life beings that this remaining Mr. What's his name again?
Ritchie.
Colonel Ritchie could interact with until he dies.
Send him home. Why can't you send him home?
Because there's a book apparently on board the ship that they read and they think, oh, this is the perfect life for these beings, these humans. And so we're going to make him have a place to be, like a little zoo where he can just be happy because this is like their most holy thing. Like, thank God it wasn't the Bible.
Oh, I mean,
imagine having to live in Bible times over and over and over again.
I think overall, that's why he doesn't hold any like malice towards the aliens.
Right.
Because I think it could have been a lot fucking worse. Like if he was in Macbeth, like if he was in like, sure, it's a well-written story, but it's bleaker than this. So I guess over 38 years, you're in a casino. Maybe there's a buffet. We know that there's multiple rooms. Maybe he could have just asked for room service. So if he could ignore the casino part and just live in a hotel, I mean, it's not the way an astronaut wants to go, I'm sure, but I mean, it could have been a lot worse, but it's still like it's
really
dark.
grim because essentially this episode is the away team finding a tomb, and Star Trek is saying, wouldn't it be interesting if we saw a symbol of NASA like from our time that would be like a lean into the TV moment. You're drawn into this. How did this get here?
I love that.
And then the solution is that it really was somebody from Earth. How are we going to find them in this preserved state? How are we going to, explain this away? So we're kind of like learning Star Trek's version of future astronauts finding past astronauts in a but with an alien twist. And the twist here, besides him being there, is that to get out, Riker and Picard kind of figure out that they have to play along with it. And I would have thought that maybe Richie figured that out too at some point in time, but maybe because there was the story had to provide the 3 investors at the end.
Yeah, maybe
and it just so happened that the away team was 3, and so it sort of just made a nice little loop closure.
That is wild because maybe he was never recognized as the investors because he was just one person on his own.
Yeah.
So it's wild that the away team was 3 people. If it had been 2 or 4, then maybe they would have been stuck down there until they figured out you need to send exactly 3 people down here and maybe dress them up a bit as like investors from the 21st century.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's wild. The NASA, the finding the thing from the past, beaming it on board. It's not the first time Star Trek has done this. They do it in TOS. They do it again in Voyager. Like, this is a little Star Trek trope where they really like, we're going to find something in space that the viewers at home are going to recognize from
they
our
did in
time.
Strange New Worlds too, right?
What was it?
With that ship that turned into the big man-eater thing, like that huge ship, it didn't start off as like NASA?
Yeah, but we're not going to... Oh, yeah, but they didn't beam... I mean, they literally beam a thing on board, like the NASA thing. Like
okay.
The Voyager does it with a tractor or a pickup truck. A pickup truck, that's what it is. TOS does it with... There's like a rocket ship or something that I think they find. Anyway, it's just this fun trope that is deliberately meant to be a cold open... Bam, opening credits. This is a thing that the viewers are going to love. And I'm a sucker for it as well. I really enjoy it. I'm like, NASA? I know those letters. That's fun.
I know those symbols.
I know what that is. I do. There's a couple of just season 2 earliness things that I wanted to talk about. So, did you pick up on the score at all? Like the music for this episode?
You mean like inside the casino?
No.
Because
I mean,
that was very distracting.
That's obviously just... Obviously, that's deliberately over the top.
And there wasn't even a beautiful woman on the screen. It was just the buxom lady walks in when the bellhop was talking about the beautiful lady.
Yes, it wasn't actually about her. I mean, like, when the episode actually starts, so that, like, opening music and just any of the music that's, like, kind of on the Enterprise that wasn't that.
No.
Okay. Ian does. I want to talk about it because I love the score for season 1 and season 2 so much. And it's because it has a different composer. So for me, and we're going to, spoiler, we're going to see a little bit more of this next week as well. Season 1 and season 2 had an entirely different composer, Ron James, I believe. Hang on.
I want to talk about the composer. I don't know who composed it.
Sorry, Ron Jones. I'm going to change that. I do know who composed it. I just got it. James confused with Jones. Ron Jones. I love his scores so much. They were so good. But for various reasons, including just some like apparently personality differences, he didn't come back in season 3. So everything from season 3 onwards is perfectly serviceable. It's fine.
Perfectly serviceable.
No, it's great, but it's a bit more generic.
What a way to talk about.
It's fine. It's good, but it's not like... There are some scores in season 1 and season 2 that I'm just like, you have themes. So like the Romulan theme that we get in The Defector does not exist anymore. Was it The Defector? No, The Neutral Zone. But it just doesn't exist anymore. I'm like, blah, it's so annoying. Anyway, I just wanted to get that off of my chest, Deneé. And it doesn't matter because you didn't notice anyway.
No. But this is your podcast, man. I'm just here because I can't leave. I'm trapped in the El Rio Corso Cacao.
You said this is your Royale. Wow, doing this podcast is your Royale? Oh, shit. Did you pick up on the early seasonness of Picard as well, and how, like, I just noticed it in this episode a lot more, that he's very different. I feel like Patrick Stewart hasn't found Picard yet in some of the ways that he talks and delivers things.
Maybe I could feel it in some way because as I watched this episode, I was distracted by a few of the things that the show was doing. In like this episode, it exists in two places. There's like 3 things we see, 4, I guess, if you include the upstairs. Maybe the exterior shot of the doors is 5. Anyways, it's very simple. It's we're on the bridge, we're at the casino, we're on the bridge, we're at the casino, we're on the bridge, we're at the casino, we're on the bridge, we're at the casino. And so that was a very lulling vibe. Like, I'll be honest, this episode was not fun for me to watch. There's a couple things that like really bring it up for me that I'm excited about because I love Data, for example. So watching him get excited at the end with poker and just the vibrancy of the kind of final parts of them being at the casino was interesting. But this is a pretty low experience for me watching TNG. And maybe part of it is that the connection between the crew doesn't feel the same or the way that they're shooting this episode doesn't feel the same. I was just really distracted this time by how often, like it's like Picard walks over to Geordi and
so much. It's so many times just talking about the frequencies. Like there's 3 or 4 times when he's just like, any progress? And LaForge is like, no, it's hard. Picard's like, keep at it. And then leaves.
Yeah, it is. It's kind of like, okay, you're going to walk over there and you're going to find out what's going on. Okay, you're going to walk over here and you're going to sit down and you're going to talk to Deanna. And then you're going to walk over here and you're going to sit down. It felt more robotic, I think. And so maybe it's not that Picard, the character, or even how Patrick Stewart was developing the character hadn't really sunk in yet. Maybe it was just what the show was still reaching for what people would be liking. And this one just felt really robotic to me. Although it is an interesting mystery and we did learn some interesting things, I wasn't as drawn into this as I usually am. And maybe you're onto something as to why.
There's a chemistry thing there for sure. I can really feel Picard not being Picard just yet. There are episodes in season 1 and season 2 where we see it, like The Measure of a Man. We rewatched that a couple of days ago and Picard feels very Picard in that episode when he's fighting for Data. Maybe it's just not much for him to do in this episode, but I definitely, this time around, analytical eye I kind of realized I like this episode because of Data playing poker at the end.
Which is such a little tiny bit of this episode.
It's so tiny.
But it is great.
So tiny.
It is great, but it's also like really, I don't know, like even Data, he feels sometimes almost like, I really enjoyed this Data episode a lot because we kind of saw him reading something quickly and calculating. We saw him accessing information about poker. We saw him fixing dice in his hand like a fucking magician. What was that?
Oh, so good. Just like
so just like he was recalibrating them because they were heavy.
He's recubing them. He's loading the dice. So he's recubing them because he can throw them exactly how they're supposed to land because he's a machine. He can throw them on whatever combination he wants to throw them on.
Right, but first he has to recalibrate them because they were the wrong weight.
They were off. Yeah, they weren't weighted properly.
But anyhow, that does carry a lot of this episode for me, and there is interesting stuff. I don't know, but the pacing of it was different because Data just seemed, I don't know, it just felt weird. I don't know why, but when he was really animated at the end, I love it with him like grinning and stuff.
Yeah,
I just
wonder. Needs a new
wonder.
pair of shoes, and then he like put some funk on the dice
And he
roll
like snapped
his finger.
But I think what I'm missing is that moment when Riker says we need to become these characters. But I guess Data said that, but Data said we should blend in. So maybe that was his version of blending in.
No, it's right towards the end when Riker is like, I've got a plan. We're going to buy this casino. Yeah. And that's basically like, oh, we're going to become the investors. Like that's it. And then we need the throwing around money.
I think that's why it works then. You know, like I maybe missed a little bit of the nuance there because I was like, wait, why is he like winking and waggling his eyebrows? Yeah. Is he just genuinely having like the best time in the world?
I don't even think he was trying to take on a persona. I think he's just having fun with it.
So he just decided this is a moment when I'm going to emote as a very cocky card playing human.
I think so.
And went for it.
Yeah,
Okay.
he just went for it. I mean, he's also been hanging around Tex for a little bit. So maybe there's a bit of emulation there. Like, this is a part of humanity that I'm going to emulate by being a bit like cocky like Tex is and flamboyant with how I'm doing it. I don't think he took anything else life lesson wise from Tex. I think that was it.
No, the episode does do a good job too in the director of having a moment when Data is looking at Tex with like a critical eye. So it sort of made Tex's behavior,
for sure.
Obviously Tex is an ass, but
yeah, it
wasn't like Data was like enjoying his Tex's interaction at that point. So I did like that, but overall though, like the episode just was very we're here.
No, I get it. And that's what I was kind of tapping into this time was I think the Data scene carries more weight than I had really fully sunk in, and the moment of revealing how fucked up it is that the poor skeleton in the bed upstairs lived a life for decades of this. Like that, all of the build up to that part, you're right. Once you've accepted there's a mystery, figuring out the mystery is kind of boring-ish.
It sort of drags a bit because the information that Geordi and Wesley are discovering and Picard is asking for updates on doesn't really seem to be doing much to give us a clue about what is happening on the planet. And there's just something that I think I'm wanting from that morsel. It was just a little dry because every time we cut back to the ship, if it's just him saying, yep, we're pretty sure we can figure something out soon, Captain. And the captain's like, great. And then he just walks over and sits down and Dana's like, I'm sensing that he is very humored. Like it just feels a bit like, okay, what am I, the viewer, getting from this that I didn't already see? I saw that. I saw Riker looking interested and I saw that we were having communication trouble. That's not news for me. So it felt more like the show is saying this is what Starfleet does. And there is an element of a true, like, I'll nerd out on anything that you put in front of me. Look at these panels. Look at how they're touching the screen, you know.
It felt very routine, didn't it? It was like, this is probably as boring as it would go down in reality.
Yeah.
In real life.
I guess maybe that's the earliness of any show as they're finding their footing is how do you make sitting at a panel more exciting?
Yeah.
You know,
and I think if you
that's a lot.
Yeah. I think if you compare that to a later episode, Geordi would be in engineering, like running around different systems, and maybe there would be like something in the planet's orbit would be messing with the Enterprise's systems and their orbit would be degrading, or they would be like a ticking clock of there's a disease on Rigel 7 and we need to go there and we only have so much time. Like we're going to have to leave a shuttle behind or something. So
or like they crack open the tomb and then like they release some sort of bacteria.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, they didn't feel the need to add a ticking clock, which part of me respects.
Yes,
but also
I like that too.
I really fully understand why we have ticking clocks in episodes. Something more than Wesley and Geordi sat on the bridge tapping away. Give us engineering, like put them in engineering so that we have something more interesting to look at than, no offense, the back end of the bridge.
Also, how interesting would it be to find out if that colonel had descendants that now know the fate of their family and that there's like some sort of tie there, not just leave it in the moment, but go further into that story, because it felt a bit like, okay, we're going to peel back the covers and it's a skeleton, you know, instead of like, it's a rabid tribble, you know, like what we could, it could be
Obama's
so many things.
great grandfather or whatever.
But it's okay because again, they're finding their footing. So I don't know that it was Picard was off. It all felt a little bit off for me. I actually kind of really enjoyed Picard in this episode for some reasons. And one of them was, for example, he was trying to figure out a puzzle. Like the first time when Riker walks into his office.
Ready room.
Thank
but
you.
I'll allow it. It's his office.
His ready room. And he's looking at a math equation that hasn't ever been solved.
Fermat's theorem.
And he's just doing it for funsies because it reminds him that before there were computers or starships, there was a French guy with a pen and paper that was, you know, creating these things.
Some French guy, yep.
That's what he said, some French guy. He didn't say it like that.
Part-time mathematician.
And that's the part of the show I think that I really enjoy is trying to give these characters a very like a depth to their story. And I think doing that with Picard is essential because he's such an important character. I do wish that they would do it a little bit more with Deanna, for example.
Of course, yeah.
But they do that later on with like her mom coming around, and there's other things that can kind of come into play with seeing more of like who she is. Because she does play an important role in this episode of easing the mind of the crew to know that there's no imminent danger, so they have time to figure the problem out. And that's kind of like, you know, her information that she's giving. And it does the Star Trek stuff. He asks the crew for their opinion. He talks to people. He's trying to kind of figure everything out. And that is something, again, that I really like about every episode, that on every show we've watched, there's always this kind of moment when the captain is under stress. There's an important decision to make, and there's a collaborative nature. And I really, really like that part of Star Trek.
I do love that so much as well. It's the reason that every character has a role and a purpose and a different skill set as well. Like, I love that Deanna's powers are actually used in this episode. It raises all kinds of questions for many later episodes where there's an away team and they lose touch and she doesn't read their emotions. So, oh, they're in pain. They're injured. Geordie is in a hole with a Romulan and needs our help. Like, the fact that her empathic powers go down to the planet, penetrate everything, and she can strongly pick up. Admittedly, she has a deeper connection with Riker than anybody else, and maybe that's part of it. But
could be, yeah.
The casualness with which she said that, like, Picard's really, really worried about Riker.
Of course.
And it's only then that she kind of volunteers, oh no, he's fine. Like, I'm getting amusement from him. Like, it was almost, it kind of shocked me. I was like, oh, so you know he's not dead then? Well, because like Picard's almost just like, is the away team dead?
Yeah.
Are they dead?
It's also interesting that she could have sensed that there weren't other beings there as well. You know, if Riker says there's people in this room, they're like, I don't sense anybody. But I think at that point, the mystery is sort of unraveling or is developing before them. And that isn't necessarily an interesting thing to have her say because maybe it's just too much repetitiveness.
Circling back to giving some character to Picard, I love this as well. Like, it's one of them. Strange New Worlds does it pretty well because you get like Pike cooking, so it gives him some character, and it's something that isn't episode critical, but it's giving flavor to his character. Picard working on a puzzle is great. There's more than one occasion where we see him working on a puzzle. There's another great one where there's like this system of planets that's meant to be impossible, and he's trying to work out how all of the mathematics work. The issue with picking a real world problem, Deneé, what could be one of the possible issues with picking a real theorem and then in 2364 saying we've never solved it?
Well, I mean, when this show came out, maybe they hadn't, and now they have. Yep.
They solved it in 1995.
But has anybody written this book? That's what matters more.
No one's written The Royale. So that's just, it's one of, it kind of makes me a little bit sad because this is so dumb, but it just reminds me Star Trek isn't real, or at least this version isn't completely real, because Picard is so passionately using this example of in 800 years, we've never figured it out. This part-time mathematician has figured out something Data can't figure out. Our greatest computers can't figure out. And yet some dude in America in 1995 actually figured it out, which was like 6 years after this episode came.
This episode is what encouraged them to do so.
This episode was dated before TNG went off the air. They were still putting out episodes when they disproved what he says in The Royale.
I have a question. Something just popped into my mind since we're obviously kind of hopping around. One of the things that bothers Picard at one point, and it bothers me too, Data even said it, that Riker is breaking protocol by staying where he is. Yeah. And I didn't get the impression that the alien species is influencing them to stay. It's just a trap. And at that time, he didn't know that, though. He's just walking around kind of entertained by being there. And he said, we're not really in any danger, so it's not a big deal. And then Picard brings it up when he's talking to Deanna. This bothers me. This isn't like Will. He would come back. But then the show never really answers why he didn't.
Nope. Because you need the episode.
Okay.
Well, it's not even to make the episode happen, because the episode still happens if Riker follows procedure, because immediately they'd be spun back round. It's baffling. It makes no sense. The number one rule on away missions, other than don't break the Prime Directive, as soon as you lose contact,
you're supposed to
beam them back up.
You leave.
And from the away team's point of view, if you lose contact and you haven't been beamed up, return to the beam out point so that you have the best chance of being found.
Yeah.
It is a baffling lapse in judgment.
He doesn't get in trouble either.
He doesn't get in trouble for it. He's not just like some commander either. He is the first officer of the flagship.
How much more interesting would this episode be if he gets back to the ship, he goes to the ready room to like talk to Picard about what happened, and Picard is just like, I'm demoting you.
You put your entire team like in danger. And the kind of sneaky thing, when kids kind of lie to you on a technicality, he kind of lies to Picard. Because Picard, when they eventually get through, says like, why haven't you left the casino yet? And Riker's just like, oh, we've tried, but we're trapped. We can't get out. That's not what happened, fucker.
No.
You chose to stay. Now you're not telling him that you chose to. Now it's right. Now you've tried, but initially you decided to stay.
From a storytelling perspective, they want them to be there longer and build the tension. So I totally get, I get it. But that really bothered me.
Yeah. It's like Riker's really at ease. Picard isn't at ease. So it creates some added tension.
So I guess it's a character trait of Riker that I didn't remember, because I'm not going to remember those little details. But it's like, oh, noted. You're the kind of guy that's going to do this. So he's not necessarily a by the books kind of a guy. He's going to bend the rules to kind of go in his favor and coerce Data and Worf to go along with it because he's their commanding officer. So even though Data rightfully recites the protocol to leave, what that would have done to the episode, they would have gone to the door and what we would have been in the mystery much faster. So I don't think that we needed to have that moment. So maybe it was just on purpose that they wanted to kind of show that he's a bit of a rebel. And that was an interesting thing also that really I learned about Riker.
He definitely has a rebellious side to him. Like he's meant to be very much Kirk. Like he's meant to be like the cowboy kind of the between him and Picard, for sure.
Also, some interesting things about this one for me that just seemed like, why is this a thing? Is why are we beaming things on board and not putting them in containment fields? Why are we touching them before we're supposed to? Why are we saying that it was destroyed by a weapon from our time and there's no investigation into that?
Yeah.
Why are we beaming down without a probe first? Like what? There's so many things that are. Why are we going through doors? Why are we doing any of the things that we're doing in this
Especially
episode?
because I think they knew that they couldn't scan beyond the doors. So it's like, so you're going to walk into a black hole? Like, I guess you would be able to scan a black hole.
It's like, well, this is what we came to do. It's like, you came to die? You came to do that? That's why you came? Like, I was really confused by that, but maybe it's because I am not designed for space. Like, I am way too risk averse. I would be like, no, you know what? You got me on this ship and I'm in space and I can't leave because I'll die if I go outside. So I'm definitely like stuck here. Yeah. And now you can be rest assured I'm not leaving the ship until we dock somewhere, and then you get me back to like I want to be on the ground. I don't want to be near water.
Not just the holodeck ground.
Put me no.
Earth.
Yeah. The best thing that they could do is Casino Royale my ass in like a little holodeck suite until and then you just shift me back to Earth. I don't need to know that I'm in space. I would be panicking. It would not be okay. I watched a movie once when I was a kid called I don't remember it all of a sudden.
Space Camp?
Fuck that movie. That's it.
Yeah.
And it scared the shit out of me because I was just at that age where I'm like, I am just like you kids. And then I'm like, oh my God. Do this. So I've never, ever wanted to go. It's one of the big differences between us. I would never,
and I'd say yes in a second.
Ever go to space.
There's nothing I could say yes to more. Even the stupid, not technically space suborbital flight bullshit that Amazon does, which isn't space. I would still do that. I want to go to the space station, the ISS. I want to go there, please. I hate to tell you this, Deneé. You are currently in space right now.
Shut your mouth hole. I am on a planet.
Which is in space. I completely agree, though. At least
there's so many things that happen in this episode. Why?
You know what you should do? You should tie a bit of rope around Worf, tie a bit of rope around Data, send Worf in, and then pull him back out. Like, I don't know.
Get the fucking exocomp out, man.
All three of you. No, come on.
Send it in there.
Just realised I was willing to risk Worf, but not an exocomp. I will put a pin in that and dig into that with my counsellor later. Rolling back to the beginning of the episode, I do like the visual of beaming down to this vagueness, just this black space with the storm raging overhead. That's always, and then obviously the revolving doors in the middle. I absolutely love that. I love that visual. Yeah,
the revolving doors were really, really eerie. That was like a confusing thing. Like, why are we doing the revolving door thing?
Like, it's confusing, and I like it. It's a nice little start to the mystery. I kind of love that.
Yeah, I was like, are they going to be going into like an old JCPenney or Macy's?
That would be amazing if they were just in a department store.
It was department store, it was hotel, and I didn't think it was going to be a casino, but it was.
There we go. There's a couple of little touches that I really like. Again, bold predictions being made by Star Trek that sometime in 2033 or by 2033, you all, America, have an additional 2 states. You've added 2 states. So my question to you is, which 2 states have you added?
Oh, the state of well-being and the state of fuck off.
Yes. I mean, if it ever happened to like Canada or Mexico, they would change their names to fuck off. If like, okay, we're the 52nd state.
I mean, I can see it happening. I can see there being like more states. Just like California becomes 2. It's quite large.
Oh, that's a technicality. You're like, that's probably how it would go down.
Wait, so you're assuming that we've just taken over more land? Like we do not need more land.
Have you met America? Absolutely.
My version of America is maybe a little different than everyone else's, and I can't say everyone else's because I don't speak for everybody in America. Mm-hmm. America's kind of big.
Yeah.
But no, I think, just like, okay. We have like the teeny tiny ones like Rhode Island. Just a tiny little nubbin of another one just is like, you know what? We want to be a little nubbin state.
Some undiscovered island that
the little
hasn't
chicken
been
nuggets
found yet.
of our country.
Yeah, amazing. So there's a couple of, and this is always fun when this is like a time travel light episode / holodeck mishap light episode. They are, for all intents and purposes, stuck in a holodeck. Like, that's what this episode is.
Yes, this definitely felt like, and that was interesting because we were talking about holodeck episodes before, and it did feel like that. But I would
have allowed this to be added in the holodeck episode category on a technicality, for sure.
Well, we don't really have an understanding of what the alien species has built. Oh, another thing that this episode should have done, destroy it forever.
Oh, that's
because
so
it's
true.
Just sitting there. It's a literal death trap for the next person that walks into it.
They didn't even put warning beacons up. I'm going to assume they did that. They also left the body behind, which is brutal. Like, you think they may bring the body back.
They didn't even take the body back with them.
Yeah.
So I don't know. This episode doesn't really get into the technology, nor does it seem interested in like saying anything at the end of the episode about sticking around to examine it and learn more, or make an attempt to speak to the alien species of some kind. I mean, I assume that the Colonel had tried many, many times. There's one entry in their diary, just one. And in it said they had been there for 38 years, but we don't know when that diary was written. If it was the same kind of time and era of his death, he could have lived much longer and just been like, there's no reason to write anything else. It's just this one thing I need to write down. And like, we don't know what that person's, life was.
Oh, we don't know how much longer he lived.
How many attempts were made to get out? There was no notes about talk to this person and try to get them to give more information. The guy, for example, the front counter, he talked about management, and that seemed to be maybe something that was written into the story somehow. And so that's why it could exist. But it really didn't seem that there was any way to get out. It was sort of just a bear trap in the woods, and no hunters coming back for whatever is found inside of it.
You know what should happen? They should have walked into like one of the rooms and there's just a bunch of Klingons in there.
That's kind of what I thought.
Like more aliens trapped down on this fucking casino.
No, you know what though? The Klingons are smart enough to not go through a fucking revolving door for no reason.
Yeah, they would have blown it up first. We're going to blow up the revolving door.
They would have done what Worf did and just been like, let's just try to phaser this wall. And
That's
this
so
wall,
funny.
and this wall, and this wall.
Well, on that note, it does. We do get a good look at the Dustbuster phasers, and I'm going to get technologically nerdy. These are called the Dustbusters because they look ridiculous.
They're amazing.
Sorry, it's my least favorite phaser. It's so like wide and weird looking. You like it?
Yeah.
I need to get you a Dustbuster.
Okay, let's just take a little trip back in history. Why are we doing this show? What show did I love?
TNG.
That's my phaser. Honestly, all of
Do
the
you
equipment,
remember it?
yes, of fucking course I do.
Because they don't really use it after season 2.
I love those things.
No, but so I think the one that you're thinking of is the Cobra Head. Like the Cobra Head phaser is the. I lost you completely. The Cobra phaser, those are the ones.
Oh, they kind of slide over the top. No,
those are the ones.
These big fat dusters. I
the
love
wide,
it.
That's
I
amazing.
love it.
That's
Here's what's going to
amazing.
happen. Bamboo Labs, somebody out there has made the Dustbuster phaser.
No, they have. It's on my list.
I fucking want it.
It's on my list.
You know how
I'll
you're
print
like,
it for
oh
you.
my God, I'm going to print this cool thing from this one show. And here's the hollow emitter from the Doctor. I remembered hollow emitter.
You did. You remembered hollow emitter. You know, 90% of the things I've printed are plant-based. Wait, they're not plant-based. They're plastic, but they're for plants.
If I was to print something from TNG, it would be a big old fat phaser.
I'm going to scale it up as well. I'm going to make it look fucking ridiculous in your hand.
My hand's already little. I don't need it to be massive.
It's look obscene. I support you.
It's okay.
I support you.
It's okay. We don't have to like the same
I'm just
props.
glad you recognize that it's... I'm glad you recognized it. Full stop.
Oh my God, of course. Yeah. I mean, now that you're saying it, I can kind of reflect and that there's a smaller version out there somewhere. Mm-hmm. But honestly, like they're the same. I don't know that I've like focused in on it, but I'm now imagining the little panels that they pop open for like the little phasers, but they have to be like,
that's it.
They have to be top and
like
tail. A trunk.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know who designed that. It's such a big
great.
Jump from the TOS phaser as well.
It's amazing.
Anyway.
And it was kind of cool to see Worf like try to go against the wall and then he makes the beam even bigger and the sound gets louder. That was
makes
really
it more intense.
That was really fun. You know, like you've got people walking around going, excuse me, and everyone's ignoring them because they already know that they're not real people, but for some reason they're talking to them anyway. Yeah. And then you have Worf just like, let's just move this out of the way. Let's go to the wall and try to tear into it, you know?
I love that.
Oh my God. Imagine a moment when he tears into it. It actually peels away. Like, I don't know, like you're taking like the little wrapper off of a thing of gum, you know, it's like it peels down and it kind of like opens up and it's just a big eyeball of them observing you.
God, that would be fucking horrific. That would be so scary.
Well, that would be more interesting though.
Yeah.
I mean,
that would have been horrifying. And then Worf would have stabbed it.
Because the idea is just like, you want to know what happens when ants fall into a cup? This is the episode for you.
This is what happens. There's a big magnet. Why do I feel really hot? Why have I got like a sunbeam like magnifying glass on my neck? Speaking of Worf and phasers and exploring and whatnot, I always get a kick out of them trying to use the elevator as a turbo lift.
Oh, that was a really interesting moment. And it was the only time that I actually like emoted while watching this episode.
No. It's so in character though. Like I love that they go up to it, they think it's malfunctioning. But when they get inside it as well, Riker still does his like spin around thing as if it's a turbo lift. They don't break character. And that's just like, I almost imagine the director being like, remember, you're in the 24th century. This is your life. Like, it's flavor like that where I believe that they are from the future. Like, they live in a different time where elevators like this are turbo lifts. There's no reason to assume that it would act any different from a turbo lift. Data picks up something most unusual in another section, and it's above them, 31.9 meters specifically. There we go.
And then they go to the turbo lift, and they say, this seems to be malfunctioning. And my note is, the elevator has stumped the men, which I find to be pretty shocking.
It sure did.
It's just a button there.
But not the android.
Anyway. Yeah, that was kind of a fun moment. The tension build up to the bed, the room was interesting too. But I was like, when you walked in, the camera was sort of right over a lamp. And I thought, there is like the alien thing. So I thought it was going to be this weird sort of alien creature just kind of hovering there. Sort of
interesting.
Like alive and wanting kind of like playthings to just watch.
Oh, that would be very on
role.
brand.
Yeah.
Like you're trapped here because I want somebody to play with. Yeah. We could do an entire series on aliens wanting to play with humans that aren't Q and still fill an entire season filled of it. There's one frustration I have with the story, and there are a few like kind of plot disconnecting things that are frustrating, and it's when Picard and Troy they find out about the book because they read through it on the planet. Picard and Troy decide to bring up a copy of the book and then read through it from the beginning. First of all, I get the computer to give you a synopsis. Next, have it audio booked to you at double speed. Third, even better, skip to the last fucking chapter. Like, read ahead. Like, they're sat there listening into the conversation as it's happening downstairs, but just skip to the final chapter, because then you know what's ahead of the away team. Because let's say Mickey D, whatever his name is, comes in with a machine gun, and the story ends with everybody in the casino being slaughtered. Like, you need to know that information too. Maybe you don't know that the escape route is at the end of the book, but it's good to know like what's coming next. But Deanna and Picard are so casual about reading through this book.
I thought at that point that Data already knew the ending, because Riker passes him the book and he scans through it real quickly. And so I think that they would have said something about being in imminent danger because they were able to communicate at that point.
I guess that's a good point. That's good. But I mean, better yet, then if Data has already read the book, why is Deanna and why are they bothering? Like, why are they wasting their time by reading it? Like, Data, tell us if you find anything helpful in the book. I guess.
Yeah, that was another kind of maybe a moment that upon reflection makes it a little bit more dull for what's happening on the Enterprise, which
still, it
needs to sort of be more interesting, B as in B plot, but like it needs to be more interesting or it needs to add to it somehow. I did think that the transition was an interesting transition because the characters that were in the room with Riker and Worf and Data were all talking, and then it sort of goes to the Enterprise where they're reading that moment and they're almost hearing through the open comm badge the characters speaking. And I thought that was kind of a unique moment to sort of, I thought it was showing that they're really accurate to the book. Like these characters are, it's not that they're going off script. They're saying things that are in the book.
And I think it's to emphasize that maybe it's the show saying like, this writing isn't us. Because Deanna's like, did humans really talk back then? And Picard's like, no, this is a terrible, terrible book. This isn't how anybody would speak. And it's not a good example of written literature from the time either. So I almost think it's just hitting that point home that this isn't the Star Trek writers coming up with some terrible dialogue that's just really out of character. This is deliberately bad to show how bad the book is, to make it more terrible for Colonel
Richie. Think that's supposed to be funny. Like, I think that was supposed to be a humor beat for this episode and a horrorscape for poor Colonel.
And it just reminds me of, like, so when Picard starts the book, it was a dark and stormy night.
And he rolls his eyes.
And that gets me because that's a, like, cliche sin that we do at Cinema Sins. Like, that's a classic Cinema Sin. It was a dark and stormy cliche. I kind of love that. Of all the ways you could have started this book, this sets the tone.
Yeah. I really thought that there was going to be a shift over to going off script, sort of upsetting the entity.
Oh, interesting.
Because they wanted it to stay like perfectly on, I thought that it was going to be a dance monkey dance sort of situation, you know, where you need it to be this exact routine, and that the algorithm of this trap wouldn't be able to sustain itself. Like the code would be breaking, that they were going to be able to get out because they didn't follow. Like, to me, it doesn't hold up when you start to consider that. Would there have been a character sitting in Data's seat talking to the heiress and Tex, for example?
Yeah.
So that when Tex says those lines, they match up according to whomever would have been sitting there. And it doesn't really answer those questions. And so my brain was sort of filling in the blank spaces of what this episode could be getting to. That, like, if every character got angry, like we saw in that train episode that we were talking about earlier, what was that one again?
Emergence.
So if, how like, when they started to go off script or when they started to ask the wrong questions,
they would get
really upset. I kind of wondered if that was going to come into play, where the tension would come back, because the tension in this episode really was completely imploded when Picard himself says, even if this takes a few months, like, we'll figure it out, knowing that the episode isn't obviously going to be taking that much time.
We don't have to kill you with a hydrogen bath. Like, it's okay. We're going to hang around.
So I thought it could have done more interesting things, like even with that, because yes, we're following a story. Yes, it's already pre-written, and they're not supposed to be doing much more than what Picard is reading in the book to the T.
Yeah.
But yet they're also disrupting the story too. And so even if Picard and Troy do find something of interest in the book, which by the way, I don't think that they did. I think Picard was just saying, these characters need to be generous. Like, don't go too far off. But Data should have been able to do that because he read the book.
Because the way we get to that is that Riker says, like, so what happens at the end of the story? And because Mickey D leaves because his bit of the story is done.
Right.
So Riker's like, well, if he left, how can we leave?
Right.
And then he asks Picard, instead of turning to Data and saying, hey, Data, you just read all of that in detail. Instead of Picard giving me a blurb, could you tell me exactly what happens?
Yeah.
And then Picard explains about the investors and Riker puts the pieces together. Pieces that Data absolutely should have put together.
Yeah. Yeah. So there's a little bit of like, also when you're watching this kind of an episode, that there's a lull in how the characters are interacting. There's a lull in the back and forth. Yeah. And then there's a lull a bit in the storytelling too, where there's just enough space between where you're like, okay, we're back in the casino and they're walking this way. And we're back in the casino, but they're walking this way this time. Oh, we're back but this time we're sitting down at this table. Oh, we're back at this table again. But there's a repetitiousness that my brain just goes, I don't have to pay attention to this because until they say something, nothing interesting is happening. And that lull is kind of what's bringing this really far down into like a 1 pip for me.
I know, I get it. I think
I don't want to give it 1 pip, but I think I'm at 1.
Oh, Deneé.
I know.
I respect it. It's fine. This is a very, very early. A lot of TNG is very early Star Trek memories for me. For some reason, The Royale is an episode that popped up many, many times. So I think I just have this. I have this comfort level with it. Even Tex being a creep with Vanessa. Like those scenes with Data trying to like figure them out and playing blackjack together, and if the object is to hit 21, I will definitely need another card. Hit me. And the little like card like scraping thing that he does to ask for a new kind of scoot. I love that. There are moments I'm waiting for that keep me going, but with my objective eyes, I was like, the first half is fairly slow and fairly repetitive in what it's doing. But Deneé. But then we get Data. Then we get Data rolling dice, and Daddy needs a new pair of shoes, and the music kicks up, and he does his arm things, and Data Riker does the yeehaw, like his little reversed fist bump thing, and it's fun. Okay, that game is fun.
It was interesting. Without them saying some of the things that they're telegraphing to us, though, I don't know. It's strange when the story is literally a forced story because they're forcing themselves to be generous. They're forcing themselves to kind of get into this sort of vibrancy of this moment that would be happening in the book.
Like now they're worried about breaking character. Like they weren't worried about that in the build up, but now they have to do the spreading around money stuff instead of just here's the money to buy the casino. Like
there's even there could have been something fun where instead of Data giving Veronica, I think was her name. Vanessa. Blow on the dice again the second time. Mm-hmm. What about Worf? That would have been fucking hilarious.
Oh, it would have been hilarious.
That would have been amazing.
That's such a missed opportunity.
Just come on, Worf, join us. And Worf is just sitting there like, ugh.
Klingons do not believe in luck.
We don't blow on dice.
That's amazing. Klingons never blow on another man's dice. Would have been absolutely amazing. What a missed opportunity. You're right. Well, I was actually worried we were only going to talk about this episode for about 20 minutes because it does recycle a lot of the same scenes, a lot of the same thoughts and dialogue. So
it is a very repetitive thing. But you know what? Again, one of the things I'd love to do is to talk about like the various ways that an episode could have gone that like piques our interest, because so many things can exist inside of the Star Trek universe, and it's such a great storytelling space. It's like a great sandbox.
It is.
And it does try to do a lot of the Star Trek things that we look for and hope for, like the technobabble, but it was early enough too that even felt a little stale to me. But I mean, this is definitely a WTF category. It totally works inside of the category. I don't know. It wasn't quite there for me.
No,
today.
I totally get it. I still have a lot of fun with this episode. Yeah. I will still come back to it. But it would be really low on the list of like introducing people to Star Trek as well.
Oh yeah, let's think about that.
It really would.
I like to think about that.
I don't know what category I put it in. It would be in with like the holodeck episodes, but I don't think it would do much for people learning about Star Trek and getting introduced to Star Trek.
It would be in a tomb finding episode, a trap episode. I don't think it should fit into the holodeck. It isn't a holodeck episode at all.
It is a holodeck
How
episode. How
hilarious would it be if it was in the Encounters with the Klingon episode?
Okay, that would be a stretch. Hey, Klingons are mentioned.
That's more on point than a holodeck episode.
It's not.
Though.
This
it's
is
not
a
holodeck.
This is an imagination.
We don't know
this
that.
This is an alien holodeck.
That is not confirmed.
They are not real people. They're not real things. They are
we don't
entities.
know why. We don't know the technology. Is it?
I
guess that, okay. It should be in there because it would be a good chatter back and forth. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. There we go. Overall, Ambassador, I hesitate to ask, but Pips?
I'm really trying to figure out like what it does to the Star Trek timelines that is really interesting. I think because I'm doing a lot of the heavy lifting for the story in my imagination, I think I'm going to do... Is 1.5 an option?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. I think I'm going to do 1.5 because I don't think it's a bad episode of Star Trek. I think that it suffers a little from being a second season of a new show for Star Trek.
That is the fairest thing you could say about it, for sure.
And when we watch TOS, I put my TOS lens on. And I think what's strange is that because I love TNG so much, I think I have like a very weird...
That's interesting.
Status in my mind of where it needs to be. And watching one that's like, oh, that wasn't as fun for me. It's like I want to punish it.
Because TNG has this sacred space that's up there. Like, yeah, I get it. I completely get it.
But I don't think it's like a bad episode of Star Trek. I think it is an interesting thing. Adding NASA, that lean in moment, I feel like that's a really smart thing. So I'll do like a 1.5. And honestly, the Data stuff and watching Data do so much lifting at the casino.
Yes.
It might even bring it up closer to a 2 for me, but I think right now my instinct is 1.5.
Link in the live chat sums up my pippage perfectly. 2.5 pips. Data made it more fun. That's it. I think without Data, I completely just miss this episode. The way he interacts with text, the way he interacts with poker, knowing that he enjoys playing poker with his crewmates as well. There's so much like fluidity that he gets to have when he's rolling the dice, and the mystery and the shock of what this poor bastard, maybe the poorest poor bastard in all of poor bastardry, poor Colonel Richie had to go through. That still gets me.
Poor Colonel Richie.
There's enough moments in this episode that I look forward to where it's a 2.5 for me. Not a bad episode, but not a great episode of TNG, because TNG is so great.
A couple of things that are coming up in the chat that I just want to mention before we go, in case this is something that we need to mention. Rima asks, did we cover that season 2 of TNG was a writer's strike season?
Oh, we have covered at some point, but not in this episode. But
that's a good thing to remember.
Oh boy, season 2 is rough. A, they had no idea if they were going to get a third season. B, writer's strike throughout. So there were fewer episodes. And some of them, they literally had to go back, and it was episodes they'd rejected from season 1. They're like, I guess we're going to have to dig this episode out, do something with it. So this is where you get
part of that. Then
you get half stories that are just stretched too long.
You do. You get half stories, and maybe you try to lean on the characters a little much. Like let's say that the director said, okay, you're going to walk over and talk to engineering, and maybe improv could have helped it, but that's not what the actors do. The actors perform what's on paper unless they're told improv. And even in improv, improving in a technical future is a stupid idea. I'm sure that would be terrifying to some degree. But yeah, if there was a writer's strike going on, that's a really important thing to recall.
No, it's a great point to remember. Yeah, so all of season 2 has to be seen with that kind of lens.
And that is really helpful to know because there is a lot of filler of movement and walking. So the camera is 30%, 20%, like it's a good chunk of the episode is dedicated to just like establishing shot. Yeah. So yeah, I can see how they would need to do that because if it's a lighter script, they're going to need to have that. Yeah. So yeah, that definitely needs to be taken into consideration too. And in that case, they did an even better job.
I love it. Did that upgrade your ranking? Does that push it into 2 now that you have some sympathy?
When I took martial arts, I was
not like this.
2 days away from testing for my orange belt.
Oh, which one's that?
It's a good belt.
Okay.
Yeah. And my dog ran into me and rolled my ankles so badly I couldn't walk for a couple of days.
Oh no.
I am not an orange belt to this day, but I always did so good on my testing, and I was like, I had been practicing my
They didn't
kata.
pity you?
I knew the whole thing. Am I an orange belt? No, I'm not an orange belt. I had the potential. I was ready. I was right there. It's still 1.5.
My goal is to get you an orange belt someday. Get
Oh
you
my
back into
God.
it. Orange belt right now. Let's do it. Okay, well, that is our episode, and that is our season of What the Fuck, What the Fun Trek.
I can't believe it.
It's been such a good season. Can you remember a highlight? Give me your favorite episode. Top of your head, favorite of the season.
Okay, it was the one where there's a worm inside the body and it blows up at the end.
That wasn't this season tonight. God damn it. It could have been in this season, but it wasn't.
So fucked up.
Let me give you a rundown of the episodes, because this is your punishment now. You're going to have to actually listen to me do a rundown.
Do you want to know the other thing that's in my head?
Yes.
It's the one we didn't even watch for the show, but it was on the TV when your parents were in town.
Of course.
And it's when Will Riker carries a fucking trill. What the fuck?
Well, it's not. I mean,
yes, he does.
No, he does. He does.
Yes.
Yes,
He does.
He absolutely carries a trill. It's not. Yeah. We hadn't quite figured out the trill yet. Could you tell?
That thing was fucking massive. And it just like went down into his intestines, and it was just like, yep, must snuggle here for a hot minute. And then Riker disappears, and he becomes whatever their name was. And we didn't even watch that for What the Fuck, but that was like, that's the second thing that popped into my mind. It's two things that were not. I'm so sorry.
It could have been a What the Fuck if it wasn't just a tedious episode.
Oh my God.
Okay, Ambassador. Okay, here's your options. We have got, we started with, of course, this has been a really fun season.
I really enjoyed the season of the show.
We started with Tuvix from Voyager.
Oh, God.
And now you can't call Tuvok or Neelix anything other than Tuvix.
You're not wrong.
Constantly.
I've messed it up so many times.
We had Threshold, which is Voyager again. Janeway, Tom turn into salamanders because they go past warp 10.
So fucking weird.
Good.
Whoa.
Then we had Rascals. Everyone turns into children and beat up the Ferengi.
Okay, yeah, I remember that.
Genesis, everyone de-evolves. We have Spock's brain.
Oh my God.
Brain, what is brain?
Brain, what is brain?
So good. That's a really strong open to the season. Shore Leave, which is just imagination gone wild.
Oh, yes.
With the bunny.
Yes. TOS.
TOS. And then we had Tinker, Tenor, Taylor, Spy. Tinker, Tenor, Doctor, Spy, which was last week's episode, which was the Doctor, please find a way. And it's basically trapped on a holodeck episode as well, but for the Overlookers.
And then due to illness and us getting married, we missed an episode, so there was actually going to be another one to compare to.
We didn't. We didn't miss one.
It? We pushed all the way?
We did.
Oh,
we
wow.
did. We wanted to do 8 episodes, and that's what we did.
Okay.
All right. What was your favorite?
My favorite?
Mm-hmm.
That's an impossible question. I feel like the one that is
What's
the
most what the fuck? Yeah.
What the fuck? Not what the fun, but what the fuck.
What's the most what the fuck and what's the most what the fun?
Okay. These are crazy. I think it has to be the salamanders.
It's got to be Threshold, isn't it?
It was so fucking bonkers.
Pepperoni pizza!
I mean, when all of a sudden but it's such an annoying episode because it happens only at the very, very end, and it's so fast, and you don't have time to process it, and they had children.
Yes, they had babies. They had baby salamanders that are left behind. I
mean, that one was crazy, and I definitely did not see that coming. And part of the hard thing with TNG is I know I've kind of seen them before, and so it's somewhere in my psyche, and I'm kind of like, oh, like even today's episode, I'm like, I think I remember this part, but not fresh enough to have it like ruin anything. But watching Genesis, for example, when everybody de-evolves, that one is so also like what the fuck in a way, but I've seen it before, and so it's like it wasn't as shocking. And the salamanders just literally shocked me. And another big shocking moment is brain where is brain, because you just don't expect that they're literally going to take out Spock's brain. You just like Bones. That's not what you think it's going to be.
Bones, what's the mystery? Jim, his brain. It's gone. It's just one of my favorite back and forths. It's so great.
Cuckoo bananas.
It's so cuckoo.
I don't know. It's definitely not. I don't know.
My biggest what the fuck is Threshold as well.
Is it? Okay.
It is. My favorite is Genesis. I love Genesis
is
so much.
super fun.
It's so fun.
I think that's my fun one as well. And I believe it's like watching people get to put on prosthetics and do something like really outside of what the normal show is.
Yeah.
Reminding the audience of what crazy things can kind of be happening on a starship.
Yeah.
There's so many fun episodes of Star Trek though. Like
so many.
It was Barclay that was the one that was also like saw the worm in the
that's
another example.
Yeah,
like,
the worm in the transporter beam.
So many things can go wrong.
Yeah.
And but when the whole ship is impacted, that doesn't happen every episode. Sometimes it's just like, oh, something's happening in engineering.
I don't know how they recover from Genesis ever. It's crazy.
It's a ludicrous episode. The fact that Worf doesn't kill everybody is...
I mean, I think he did. I think he killed more people than we ever know.
I think he absolutely did, yeah.
I think he had to write so many letters to people.
Like when we see Strange New Worlds and we see that the Doctor has had so many redacted things in his past that they don't want to talk about, like that
doesn't touch Worf.
Worf is... He killed a whole deck of people.
He absolutely at least a deck and impregnated many more, I would think.
And just like there's that moment when you're like, they're fucking salamanders, watching Deanna just like go down in that tub and just sort of bob and be all amphibian. And then fucking the cat's a goddamn lizard.
The cat
like
a lizard. It's so good. And Picard acting like a little marsupial in the corner, just a terrified little meerkat.
It's so great.
So good.
Yeah,
it's so great.
I think those are the top two for me.
Yeah.
But thank you guys for voting. Like we also did something new this season where we asked you guys to send in, your votes, and we started to work 2 episodes ahead, and it was really thrilling to watch the emails come in and the comments that were up on Discord and on Patreon, all the different places that you can interact with us. That really shaped the season too, and it really brought some new, fresh life. It's also the first season that we're doing the show completely on our own. Mm-hmm. And so it's just been like a really fun kind of start to something brand new for us.
Yeah. Loved your guys voting. I think the voting, I really enjoyed how it went. I like that you got to refresh your votes every single week and didn't have to waste your votes on ones that definitely weren't going to make it. That really changed which episodes ended up at the top, which was really, really fun. I apologize to everybody that we didn't have a single episode of Deep Space Nine. There are plenty that are worthy. There really are. We didn't get to them this season. Move Along Home came close.
I'm going to ask the question, not to you, Ian, directly. I'm really curious, like what the audience would be thinking. And obviously we have a live audience right now. And so maybe some are going to pop up, but like, how we'll have a theme for Captain's Pod and then we'll look at like the options and go, this one kind of fits the theme. Is it that Deep Space Nine has a different kind of theme? Because we really don't go to that very often.
So a lot of Deep Space Nine, especially like the later seasons, have an arc.
Like,
and so
what is that theme that we could, that if we did, okay.
It would be war, invasion, religion. I'm not a huge fan of like having a religion theme, but there is so much continuity in Deep Space Nine. It was episode of the week, but there were so many undercurrents and there's so much that's related to the Dominion and the Dominion War and the Prophets and the wormhole aliens and the Bajorans.
But I like watching things without context, so I don't think we should be afraid to go to Deep Space Nine.
I agree, and I think there is a bias that I'm less familiar with Deep Space Nine than I am TNG. Like I've done 3 or 4 laps of Deep Space Nine. That is an order of magnitude away from how familiar I am with TNG as well. So I think some go-tos just end up being in TNG.
Yeah, I don't want there to be a fear of me not liking beloved characters, but I have really enjoyed being in that world. And so obviously the next season of Captain's Pod is going to be dedicated to Locutus and Picard and kind of like a little bit of a touch points on Borg. And just because the show started because of our mutual love of Picard. So it feels fitting that in our 4th year, we kind of go back and touch on that. But maybe on the opposite side of that, let's see, we have another show coming out. Was it Enterprise?
Academy is going to be. Oh man, if they did another, you don't know what you just did.
I'm sorry.
If they did another season.
Just ignore it.
No, I can't. You said it now. if they did another season of Enterprise, people would fucking lose it. It is the turnabout on Enterprise is something I could write an entire book about. Almost like universally hated, disliked when it came out. And people are like begging for more Enterprise and begging for more of that crew. And at the time, I'm just going to say it, fucking loved Enterprise. Really enjoyed it. Would have had 7 seasons of it. It's fine. It's fine. It's okay. But, and there are serious talks, like Captain Archer, his actor's name has absolutely escaped my brain completely, but his name is...
He's waiting for the chat.
Scott Bakula. Thank you very much. He is on board to do a new Star Trek show. He is on board to be Archer again, but in 30 years later when he's setting up, or 20 years later when he's setting up the Federation. Anyway, if it was Enterprise... I didn't
mean to say Enterprise,
people
though.
would lose it. No, Star Trek Starfleet Academy.
We're doing Academy,
yes.
And then are we booked for after that too?
We have no idea what's happening, because that's another 10-episode run. So that's 3 months.
Maybe we can start to tinker with a little Deep Space Nine.
I would love to do a Deep Space Nine season.
What if
we also
I am in charge of that season?
Do it.
I just get random facts, I try to do like really obscure searches and find weird episodes, and then I just that's what we do.
Okay, I love that. I'm here for it. We also promised to do an Enterprise season as well, an introduction to Enterprise.
That would probably be more popular. People probably would like that more.
I mean, the other thing with Deep Space Nine is if we're going to do Deep Space Nine, I want to do it. I want to do a 24-episode season where we cover the core of the Dominion War. Like, that's what I want to do. I want to go in and explore the Dominion War and how everyone changes because of the war, because it fucks some people up. And
sounds
I'm all
like
about
a really exciting thing.
It is.
That we could do as war episodes. That's...
Oh, you are not ready for... Is it the Battle of AR-17? Anyway.
Assault rifle?
I don't know, literally. I don't know how I'm going to edit all of this together, but I will, because I always do. As the ambassador alluded to, next week is a new season of Captain's Pod where we are going to do a little mini celebration of our 4 years of doing the show together. And we are going to finally get into how we meet the Borg, how Picard becomes Locutus, and where that ends up, which I'm really excited about. It's going to be culminating in First Contact. That season will be starting with Q Who, which is season 2, episode 16. I am so excited to watch this episode, Ambassador. Until next week, it's Daddy Needs a New Pair of Shoes from me.
And it's the female voices asking if you want room service from me.
No.
No.
Live long and Podsper.
Thanks for listening to this episode of Captain's Pod. If you'd like to get in touch with the podcast, you can send us an email to ian@iananddeneé.com. And if you want to support the show and get the episodes early, you can go to our Patreon. That's patreon.com/iananddeneé. If you want to catch the show live, we have those links down in the description for YouTube and Twitch. And then I think I'm supposed to close this hailing frequency, so bloop bloop, we're out. Did you know that platypus's tails are multifunctional?
Go on. Give me a couple of their functions.
Well, it stores fat.
Yep, knew that.
It helps them swim and steer. Did you know also that their fur is multifunctional?
I did not. Let me guess. You're really excited. You should just tell me.
Okay. It's it's dense, and so it traps the air next to their skin, and that helps them to insulate and keeps them buoyant. And their fur has a biofluorescent blue-green glow to it, which is very rare among animals, and I don't think it's even known why.
Oh.
Did you know that their babies are called puggles?
The puggles?
Puggles, puggles.
I think you mentioned that on the Boney Pod.
I did.
I think.
Have we talked about the venomous spurs yet?
Yes, you did. Basically, don't get into a fight with a platypus.
No. They will smack you with their venomous little legs.
Bioluminescent venom tentacles, sack things.
Crazy. I'm excited for the show tonight.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Excited to see some people? What are you excited for specifically?
I think I'm ready to talk for them to know about the thing that you bought.
Thing that I bought? Oh, are we going to show it to them?
How are you not going to show it to them?
No, we should absolutely show it to them. Yeah.
There's no permeation of reality where you don't show them this.
Permutation.
Yeah, permeation.
Permeation is when things go permeable, like through a rock or through a sponge.
That is what I mean.
Yes. Oh, yeah. There's no permeation at all.
There's no chance that any reality will soak through you and come out the other side.
There's no way this showing of a new gadget will slip through the rock that is this show.
Yes.
I knew that's what you meant.
I knew that you knew that.
I'm your Captain Ian Whittington, and with me as always, activate the emergency ambassador program. It's
boy.
ambassador. Oh, I fucked it up.
You always do.
It's hologram, not program.
You fucked it.
ENA.
Say it again.
EAP. Did you know there is a Halloween episode of Star Trek, and we are yet to cover it in the 4 years of doing the show.
Well, that's your fault.
Wow.
I'm just saying.
Do you want to take over the scheduling?
Yeah.
I would love that.
Yeah?
Yeah, do it.
Okay.
I don't know how that's going to work, though.
Well, you're about to find out, because I'm going to take it over, and we're going to completely do something different for next season.
Fuck.
Hi, everybody.
Welcome to the banana show, everyone.
We forgot to eat before we started the show, and so we were like, you know what? We've got a few minutes. We'll run upstairs. We'll grab a banana. We'll eat it, and then we'll start the show. We come down. We just immediately go live and start the music. And in about a minute until we're live, I go, we didn't eat anything, and we've just been slamming bananas.
She has been slamming that banana deep.
Hi, Hates. Hates, are you ready to be a mod?
Do it. Let's just make everyone mods.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Anybody who I call a bitch, which is just
Hates you, bitch. Is there sugar in bananas? I thought it was like mainly potassium.
Are you going to look up like the percentage of a banana that is?
No,
we're not
I'm
live.
Wait, why aren't we live? That's so weird.
I was like, we have nobody saying hi.
We're not live yet.
Hello? We're live.
Wait,
Wow.
hang on.
No, we're live now.
Now we're live.
Hi, everybody.
That's so weird.
That
Did
was
anybody
weird.
get a countdown?
That was really strange.
That was we
did
the countdown.
We've been talking to you as if we're live. There's no
That's
countdown.
so weird. Hang on, we need to give him a countdown.
No. Let's this is just a raw dog show.
This is so weird. We just did the countdown, started talking to everybody, and
but
then
you didn't press live.
There was no, I did press live. That's
Something
the weird
happened.
thing.
Yeah. Oof. Well,
We're off to a flying start.
you'll have to believe us that not only did we start the show, but we had a really fun intro for you that will now absolutely be an outtake.
Oh, it's in the outtakes. That's great. You can have the old intro to the live show in the outtakes. Yeah.
I'm taking care of my friend's cats, and after the show, I have to drive 35 minutes to her house to take care of her cats. So we can't get distracted today. Like, I can't go into Minecraft.
When are you going to eat? Because it's not, that means you're going to be gone for over an hour, and it's going to take me like 20 minutes to make dinner.
Are you so excited to hear us plan our evening right now? Is this what you came to the show for? Oh my God. Okay. Well, we do have a very exciting thing to show you. And Ian has been super looking forward to opening this for a super long time. And he has been holding on to it to share this moment with you. We will do this next week. Mm-hmm. It'll be the first episode of our next season, which is our 4-year kind of restart. So it'll be a fun thing to do. We'll do it live on stream before we record the podcast. So that way, those of you who just want to see what it is and then you want to leave, you can, because maybe you hate the live show.
Maybe. Well, we've also started to over-engineer the Derpa Prize as well in a really fun way.
Quick recap on that. So Ian's been, I think we're on 1.6 now, or are we on, or we're designing 1.7. I think we're designing 1.7. So on, I think it was 1.3, he had decided to print the Derpa Prize as 2 separate pieces and then glue them together. And I looked at it and I was like, well, the saucer section is separating, so why don't we just put magnets that connect it together and then the saucer can separate on it? And wouldn't that be kind of cool? Which is a great idea. But the heaviness of the saucer section, it spins it around. So we have to figure out how to make the spinning kind of stop. So we're full on in engineering mode, which is really exciting. Ian is fully in charge of that. I'm like, what if we added a little slider bit in so they can kind of slide together? Or what if it clicks somehow? And then his little engineering brain, his mighty, beautiful engineering brain kicks in. Just super quickly, I started to do some of my martial arts with my daughter, my 8-year-old. And she got so excited, and I was like, oh my God, maybe we're going to do martial arts together.
You started with the nunchucks, Deneé.
It's a good place to start. every time we've said poker, someone in the chat has said it's not poker.
I'm sorry.
And for those of you that are listening at home thinking the same thing, I just want to say that chat has been razzing us the whole time. Like, sorry.
He plays blackjack, then he plays craps. So what I meant was that he is a poker fan on the ship. Like, he is a card game fan. He's been enjoying it. I apologize.
This is why.
And also, your prediction, Deneé, that there will be a card game. Prediction spot on. Well done.
Crazy.
Multiple card games. Here's a question, actually. If he died, why is it still running? Why wouldn't it just shut down?
It's obviously it's an open trap. It's not designed. It doesn't have a closed loop, which is why it's so fucking twisted.
Yeah. Why wouldn't they just shut it down once he dies? They just left him and didn't check on him.
Yeah. It's setting the bear trap in the woods and never going back.
That's brutal.
It's really twisted. I like this too when from Brosia when we're talking about like the algorithm being solved or the mathematician's equation being solved. What if by watching this, the guy who solved it got motivated and therefore Star Trek changed his own timeline?
That would be amazing. Well, this links back into the theory of Star Trek, which is that Gene Roddenberry found a cache of logs from the future and turned those logs into Star Trek as we know it. And just gradually released them as a TV show. And we've just got to catch up to where Star Trek is at.
Mm-hmm. And he had purposely put in some mistakes so that it wasn't too obvious that he was a time traveler.
Or some of the logs were missing, so he had to like add in some bits and pieces. Okay, let's raise. You raise me up. I can't raise my chair without doing that song. I mean, I can. I choose not to.
So the ship that he just came from is under repairs. And now Zip is on your ship.
What was the name of the ship?
Oh, shit.
The ship was called the USS Oh Shit.
OCHEUT.
Oh shit.
CHEUT. Oh shit.
The oh shit. Is there an apostrophe after the O? The oh shit.
No, it's just the oh shit. like
the USS Oh Shit.
Oh shit.
Oh shit.
It's oh shit. I'm sorry.
Oh shit.
Do you hate this game so much?
Oh, I love it. I love that you're running with it and there's some quantum folding going on.
Well, by the time you turn around and look, they're gone. So.
Oh shit. Oh no.
You check the time and you realize you also missed Chloe in 10 forward.
Fuck.
What do you do?
Computer.
Yes.
I don't need to do that. Wait, sorry. Com badge. Bloop, 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 bloop. Denver to... What's Chloe's last name?
Penver.
Chloe Penver. Denver to Penver.
I just want to hear you say it. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Bloop, bloop, bloop. We both served on the O shit at some point.
Yeah, you
that's how we met.
Did. Yeah.